Good day to you. Welcome back to the podcast Catch It, A New Perception. My name is Ketuk. I invite you to share this with friends that could benefit from hearing something different. I encourage you to subscribe and support this channel to the best of your ability. Thinking about things today and how it is that we move different than we once did. How do we listen to our spirit guides? What does it mean? What are spirit guides? Does everyone have them? Do they exist? Questions I think that you need to answer for yourself. When it comes to certain realms of the spirit, I believe that it's an individual journey, and you will need to find out for yourself. You can explore these things, whether it's through going back and listening to different episodes of this podcast, listen to them as many as you can, as often as you can, and see what it is that you hear differently. Even though maybe you've listened to every single podcast, every episode since I put them out. 80-some episodes. Finishing up a 7th season right now. Possibly, you could see something different. What does it mean? Spirit guides. What does it mean? Spiritual advisors. I will share some of what it means to me. So when I'm using terminology, you understand where it is that I'm coming from. My spiritual advisors live in human form, and they are ones that I go to. Sometimes I do ceremonies with them. Some of them have been elders in the Lakota Nation, the Dakota Nation, and they have shared certain things with me of their journey and how they got to where they're at. And it looked very inviting to be able to change who I am. And I'd sit with them through these ceremonies and learn what I could learn, and speak with them and ask them questions, become part of this way of life. I have had other spiritual advisors in this lifetime. Some of them would be holy men to certain people, however you may see that. There is not one spiritual path that I think is more correct than another. Whether it is the way of Judaism or the way of Christianity or the way of Muslims, the way of Buddhists, the way of Confucius, the way tribal ways of living, we are all descendants of tribal people. Everyone walking the earth is the descendant of tribal people. We have a genetic makeup inside of us that knows the ancestry is tribal. If we choose to be part of that, we can. I choose to be part of that world. I want to understand spirit at its core inside of me. Some people go with the teaching that the fundamental idea of God is inside of every man, woman, and child. It is inside of us. So when someone speaks of honoring the 7 directions and the ways of certain tribal people, first direction comes from where our weather comes from, when it comes from the west. And we move sunwise to the 4 winds first. So we go from west to north, east to south, up to Tukashila, to the Great Spirit, to that mystery, down to Unchimaka, Mother Earth. And then the 7th and most sacred direction is in. back to that idea that the fundamental idea of God is in every man, woman, and child. We go in to find that. So, our spirit guides. What are they? Who are they? Where they come from? Where they live? What do they do? I will share a little bit of my experience. And my experience with my spirit guides is that some people may call them guardian angels. People may use different terminology. Kind of like I like the term creator. I like the term great spirit. I like the term mystery. That mystery, I speak of that power. That great spirit, the creator, that's the mystery. The spirit guide comes from that world. My spirit guides have been some that I was gifted when I first took my first breath in human form, and some that have come to me along the way. Now, I'm not claiming to have a full counsel. I'm not claiming that I don't. I'm not sure that all of my spirit guides are with me at all times. I do not need a complete consciousness of it. What I need is to be able to stay in human form and be able to receive from them the guidance I need to be able to do the work I do. So when it comes to my spirit guides, I remember early on when I was a very young child and I appeared to be playing by myself. And my mother asked me, "Who are you talking to out there in the yard? You were by yourself." "My invisible friend," was my response. Unbelievable how aware I was. How conscious I was. Just after starting to talk, before even entering any type of schooling as far as I know, I'm talking to my invisible friend. How else would I describe it? I didn't have the awareness to say my spirit guides come to me. And I have a good day when they come to me, Mom. I didn't know how to say that. I didn't know what it was. Since then, a good friend of mine was killed when I was very young. He seems to have come to me at times. I wonder about my grandfather that left when I was very young, and how often possibly he has come to me. I remember when my grandmother left, how she would come to me. These appear to be spirit guides to me. They return to the spirit world and then they appear to come to me. My father has crossed over. He's made that long journey back to the spirit world. He comes to me. Now, I'm not asking you to believe what I believe. I'm not asking you to buy into anything that you don't believe in. I'm sharing my experience. That's it. One of the reasons I do it is so that in the future, as I talk about my spiritual advisors, you know that I'm speaking of what you might see as a holy man or a holy person. When I speak of my spirit guides, it's something from the realm of the spirit. Whether you believe in God, Allah, Confucius, Prime Cause, Divine Mind, or any other name, the realm of the spirit is where my spirit guides live. And they come to me. I'm not asking you to buy it, because I'm not selling anything. Again, I am sharing my experience. So, Recently, over the summer months, I sometimes like to take a little pilgrimage out to the Black Hills. I like to go to some ceremonies on the way out. There's a couple of reservations out there. And I like to stop and support some people in some ancient ceremonies that they do. And I like to go out to a place where I can make an offering, maybe get a little closer to that spirit. Say hello. Say thank you. Offer something to them. And I do my best in the Black Hills to do such things. I stop and see some friends. I sit in some sacred circles, and I get by okay. I love doing it. I get on my motorcycle and I ride for a week. Rain or shine, cold or hot, anywhere from 20 degrees to 120, literally. Anywhere from a heavy rainstorm to the hottest days out there. Just enjoy the ride. Well, recently, this summer, I wanted to do that. It appears that things were getting in my way, and I did not want to force my will upon myself and force myself to go out there. Some things going on in the family that might be difficult for some people to deal with. And my wife got my attention and said, you know, since this other young man has recently passed, it was like the day before he had passed, she said, maybe you don't want to take this trip. And there were other things, other signs, my spirit guides coming to me saying, don't force your will upon this. You don't need to get on your motorcycle for the week. You can stay home. I chose to not take this pilgrimage. I chose to listen. 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 I chose to listen to my spirit guides. I chose to do something different than what I wanted to do. I was willing to do something different. There's a difference between wanting to and willing to. I wanted to get on my bike, take a week's vacation from work, just go ride, get connected. I wanted to be part of. And I was willing to let go of all of it. I was willing to not force my will upon myself. I was willing to not force my will upon other people. I was willing to see it different. I was willing to catch a new perception. Gifted by my wife, gifted by my spirit guides, gifted through conversation with my spiritual advisors, gifted a new perception through taking a different action, through not taking an action. I am learning to see it differently. It is important for me to be able to continue to change the way I think, the way I see things, and change my perception. I believe that I have an opportunity to be able to listen to my spirit guides, be guided into a good journey in this lifetime without judgment. No matter how you see it, I have a chance to change, to be different. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Doksha Awake.